I get a lot of questions and comments from people on social media that want to see more project videos. I'm Jeremy from Link Custom Painting, and what we're going to do now for you is we're going to take you through one of our projects we're working on right now. We're in Loveladies, New Jersey, basically on LBI. The reason why I want to show you this project is because I want to show you the amount of actual intense prep work that actually goes into it. Not just before and afters. I want to show you what actually is involved in doing a big project like this. I'm not just a painter that's just going to show you the pretty side of it. It is a construction zone, but I'm not afraid to show you because this is the stuff that is involved to make sure we're doing it the right way. Right now, we're on the first floor. We're in the common area, and as you can see, we have plastic covering everything. We have paper on the floors, and the reason why we're using paper rather than drops right now is because they are laminate floors. With the drops, sometimes if you put on laminate, they tend to slide and move around. Everything is taped to the floor to keep the dust from getting in. It's really important to us, and I'm sure just as to the homeowner, we want to make sure all your possessions are protected, all your surfaces. We don't want you at the end of the job coming back and think, there's paint on my couch, there's paint on my floor, this, that. It's horrible. That's no way to do business. So there is, as you'll see as we're going through, there were a ton of nail pops in this house. So what we do is bang in the old nail, we set one or two screws next to it to make sure it's not going to pop back out. If you just take the nail that was popped already and bang it back in, that hole is already compromised. So essentially just banging it in, that nail is going to pop back out again. So we need to make sure that we're putting a screw next to it to re-secure the sheetrock so there's no play in it, so you don't have those nail pops happening again. We just use 1 5/8" drywall screws. More than enough. I mean, possibly get away with 1 1/4", but I found 1 5/8" just works a little, gives it a little bit more bite into the wall when you're screwing them in. You can see all the nail pops we're starting to identify right here. See the nail pop there, screw, screw, screw. You still got to re-screw these off. They have a nice front door. We want to make sure their front door is nice and protected. We put a coat of oil primer on all the ceilings. And the reason why we use an oil primer after we take any popcorn texture down is because popcorn texture is activated by water. If you put a latex primer on the ceiling after you take the texture down, it could essentially, if there's any residual popcorn texture that you may have not gotten everything off, and it absolutely happens. That water-based primer will actually activate that popcorn texture. I learned the hard way. This is one of my first jobs. Used water-based primer, 2 skim coats of spackle, sanded it, and then I started painting with the regular paint. It activated it, and the spackle just wrapped right around the roller. It peeled right off. Again, and that was because we didn't use an oil primer. And by using an oil primer, it gives you a good solid foundation to work from. They're actually starting to skim coat the ceilings in here. We're using the big level 5 blades, skimming out the ceilings. Spackle's actually being rolled on the ceiling. Yes, we're rolling it on the ceiling with a roller. We're thinning it down and rolling it on the ceiling and then skimming them out with the level 5 blades. All the nail pops were taken care of, everything. Everything's re-screwed in. Want to scrape out all that old loose flaky material, reset it with a new screw. It's a lot of prep. I mean, this is what is involved in getting a good quality paint job. It's not just slapping a couple little skim coats of spackle on a couple of spots and then painting over it. No, if they're not doing all this stuff that we're doing right now, question your painter. It's all prep. It's all prep. I can't stress that enough. They had called me up and said, we saw, it was through a Facebook group page or an LBI. There's LBI questions and recommendations about I think there's 50,000 members, and there are so many referrals from myself on there for popcorn ceiling removals. And they called me, they felt very comfortable. That, and they said they looked at my social media and everything, and it definitely just helped them, it gave them a peace of mind knowing that, okay, we know what we're getting. It's not just some random guy they're picking out of, hopefully this guy's good. And with that, the social media was definitely a huge help because they can see I am transparent with everything. You can see the actual processes that we do. A good painter is always going to be transparent with everything. And my social media definitely helps reinforce that. But yeah, we're actually going to take you up to the top floor now and show you some of the challenges that we encountered a little bit. So you can see this was a bad tape line. We scraped everything out. We're going to be repairing that. All these tape lines right here, we pulled all these out because they weren't great, so We're not just gonna try and be like, all right, hopefully the homeowner won't notice this and that. No, we're gonna do it the right way. The original tape was this, the original, tape they use. We're actually using a mid-flex flex tape. And the reason why we're using the mid-flex and not the regular paper tape is because we're on the island. Homeowners out here, like I'd say 98% of the homes are up on stilts or pilings or this and that, just because of weather and flooding and whatnot. But when you get a storm out here, homeowners even say they can feel like the house moves, sways a little bit. And honestly, paper and tape is not going to keep a house from moving. So if you don't have any play in it, this stuff is going to end up cracking out. That's why we're using the flex tape on a lot of these, I call like the architectural seams, like, like the vaulted areas and this and that. This way, it gives it a little bit of play. The tape won't crack out. You can see like down here is where we're using like the regular tape. This is just a regular paper tape. Then we have the flex tape on the angled areas. I always appreciate when customers call back because they need more work done. I just, you never want to get the call back from a customer saying, listen, something happened or whatever because of faulty work. And that's why we're taking all these extra steps, because I want to make sure I'm giving you a good quality job. Okay, so when I started in the painting business, probably laugh a little bit. My friend of mine was a realtor and he was doing side jobs painting some of the houses that he was selling, and like, all right, I'll jump in, try to become like almost partners. And I love him, we just didn't work out too well being partners. So I decided to go out on my own and realized I really liked it. And ever since then, I've just been doing it, and I really do love what I do. My approach to painting has definitely changed. Since I started painting over 10 years ago, I'm not gonna lie, like I didn't know much. Basically everything was contractor grade. Price was a huge issue. Bidding to try to get jobs, like trying to undercut anybody just to get a job and just trying to make a name for myself. The reason behind this video is because we're showing you we're not a splash and dash, or we're not even like just a mid-range. We're trying to give you a good quality job, and by showing you all the processes and the steps that we're taking to make sure your walls look absolutely amazing when we're done. I'm sure a lot of people see this and they didn't realize that this much work actually goes into painting. It's not just taking a roller and a brush and cutting in, it's prepping everything. This is the master bedroom. Same thing, all the flex tape we had to replace. It was a lot and it was all unforeseen stuff, but it is what it is. You can see all the nails. We're not even done screwing in yet, but identified all the nails. If I can give one piece of advice to somebody planning a painting project, do your due diligence. I've seen it before where clients or customers have hired somebody because maybe the guy talked a good game. They spent thousands on a paint job, and when they were done, they're like, oh my God, this guy destroyed our house. Or he didn't do this, he didn't do that, he didn't do this. And honestly, to redo it over, it's gonna be even more. So that's just thousands of dollars, time that your house is gonna be in, not gonna lie, it's gonna be in disarray, that you lost and you're never gonna get back. All right, so that wraps up basically our video of what is actually going on this job that we're working on in Loveladies. Obviously, we're not wrapped up, but that is gonna wrap up the video. If you're looking for a painter, check out my YouTube channel. I have a whole video on how to hire a painter. It gives you questions to ask painters, it gives you red flags. I'm on all the social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Hit the link below, subscribe. And if you're looking for a painter in the Central Jersey area, reach out. I'm Jeremy at Link Custom Painting.